I did a YouTube short not that long ago where, well, I'll just roll the short. At some point, you're going to reach a point in your career where just being awesome at your job isn't good enough. You can get pretty far by being awesome at your job. You know, they say the cream rises to the top, right? That's the saying. What's at the top? The rest of the cream. You're special, you're amazing, you're awesome at your job. Eventually, you're going to get to a point where everybody else is also awesome at their job. They all have degrees. They're all certified. They're all experts in their field. At some point, you need to rise even above that. So how do you do that? Well, it stops being so much about the skills of the job and it starts being more about interpersonal relationships and who you know. People don't want to hear that. They want to believe that if they're just a good hard worker, they'll just get everything that's coming to them. But the reality is that at some point in your career, it's going to be about who you know and how people above you feel about you, more so than the work that you produce. Now, there is a longer version on a different app that I'm sure that you know which app I'm talking about, but anytime I mention it in any way, the video gets throttled. So I'm not going to actually say the name of the app. But the point is that there's a longer version of this where I go into more detail. And I decided that I needed to go into even more detail about what I'm talking about because of a specific comment that I got from a chef instructor. The chef instructor says, "I don't agree. I teach culinary arts. Look what Eddie Van Halen did to the guitar. John Bonzo did to drums, and Jimi Hendrix did to the guitar. Same with food. Reinvent the instrument and sound, presentation and taste." I'm not saying that any of those people are bad artists, and I'm not even necessarily disagreeing with the overall sentiment, because in the talk video, I said very specifically that I'm not saying skills can't take you far. What I'm saying is that in the culinary service and in the world of food, in the restaurant industry, eventually it will be about who you know. People may think that I'm saying like Brown knows their boss or whatever, and if you get in good with your boss, then you will have a better job. Sometimes that does work. There's a reason why we get pissed off at people that have their heads straight up the ass of management and then they always get the promotions and stuff. Sadly, it works. Then the good workers get screwed, right? But what I'm saying is that if you want to reach the next level, when you are really good at your job, you will get to a point where everybody else is at the same level as you. Everybody is an expert at all the mother sauces. They know 2 derivatives off the top of their head. They could bang them out like this. They don't need any. They have 5,000 recipes in their head. They are cooking geniuses, right? All of these people are, and you're working with these people. They are your colleagues, your peers, your coworkers. What I'm saying is, how do you go from that world up to the Eddie Van Halen level? It's about somebody that's already up there that notices you and lifts you up and brings you up to that level. There will be an exception to this, which I will talk about. The fact of the matter is there are billions of people on Earth. There always will be that one person or 2 people that they brought themselves from the ground up, from scratch, without any help from anybody, and made an amazing career. For 99% of the population out there, we have to rely on somebody that is higher up than us. I'm not saying it's a boss. It could be a TV producer, a movie director, a writer on a show, somebody that knows somebody that's looking for a cookbook or looking to be the author of a book. Anthony Bourdain is a really good example of this. People that gave him a chance that otherwise would not have given him a chance. Let's talk a little bit about this Eddie Van Halen thing. So, is Eddie Van Halen a great guitarist? Yeah. 1 in a million. He was awesome for the music industry. However, Eddie Van Halen wouldn't be the Eddie Van Halen he is today without the help of somebody known as Gene Simmons. Gene Simmons discovered Eddie Van Halen. Metallica, one of the greatest rock bands of all time, if we don't count anything past the Black Album. Now, that being said, Johnny Z's the one that originally signed them. They got discovered. They didn't sign themselves. They didn't create their own record label. They didn't distribute their own shit. A lot of artists will get signed by labels, and that's one of the reasons why they have the crowd that they are. Taylor Swift, American Idol. You can be amazing at your job and go extremely far, but the person that knows somebody is going to go 10 times further, and they may not even be as good. There's a reason why you see Food Network stars, and some of them Like, some of their food is shit. It's because they knew somebody. You have to escape binary thinking when you're talking about this. I watch this YouTuber, Deception Detective, all the time. He's really great. Doesn't have anything to do with food, but that's one of the things that he says all the time is escape binary thinking. Binary thinking is coming into my comment section saying that I'm full of shit because you can get really far with skill. I'm not saying you can't get far. I'm not saying you can't be a restaurateur. What I'm saying is that both of these things are true. He's using musical examples. What would be an example of this not being the case, of this not being true? Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre built his entire empire from the ground up. He made a record label. He did Beats by Dre. He started NWA. He had the musical talent. He is a rap god. Dr. Dre is the father of modern hip hop as far as I'm concerned. He was the one that took a chance on Eminem. Eminem, awesome. But this is an example of what I'm talking about. Eminem was amazing, was an amazing rapper, awesome battle rapper. Dr. Dre gave him a shot. Eminem became Eminem because of Dr. Dre. But Dr. Dre became Dr. Dre because of Dr. Dre. High tide raises all boats kind of a thing. Like I said in the beginning, there are times where this is not going to be 100%. Nothing I say is always going to be 100% true 100% of the time. If anybody ever tells you that what they say is always correct and there's never a circumstance where that may not be the case, they're full of shit. They don't know what they're talking about. What I'm saying is for the average person watching my channel, and even for me, it's about networking. I am not saying stop focusing on your skills and go look for someone to brown nose. That's not what I'm saying. The purpose of this fucking channel isn't just to make you okay, decent at cooking. If that was the goal of the channel, I would just cook food and show you cooking techniques. Let's name a couple of them. We have French Cooking Academy. Amazing chef. Better than I will ever hope to be in my life. We have Joshua Wiseman. Fucking millions of subs. Amazing chef. Lots of recipes, right? Neither one of them really get involved with the back of house and the inner workings and shit like that. It's all recipes. This is how you make a tuile. This is the difference between a bâtonnet and a julienne. This is how you do this versus that. Great. That's awesome. Those are all great skills to learn. Nothing, no hate, nothing bad to say about any of that. That shit does not help you with a full rail of tickets and your mind is going like this and you can't think. Doesn't matter how many mother sauces you know if you fall apart on the fucking line, right? That's why I started the channel, is because you need to get that part down and you can learn all of this other stuff. You can go to culinary school. You can be awesome. This is a totally different fucking video. I'm totally off the rails. Edit the video, get back on track. Can you do it on your own like Dr. Dre? Captain Culinary Instructor over here is actually right. You can be just like Dr. Dre. All you have to do is build a multi-billion-dollar empire from the ground up, starting from scratch. That's all you have to do. It's really super easy. You can be like Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast built his whole empire from the ground up. All you need is to give away millions of dollars every video that you make and get a shit ton of sponsors and put in 10, 15, 20 years worth of work, and you can be Mr. Beast. Can you be Gary Vee? Built a company marketing from the ground up, gets hundreds of thousands of dollars to give a talk. Yeah, you can do that. You can do that. You just have to build an entire marketing empire. That's why I'm saying you need to know people. That right there is why I'm saying it's better to know people. Of course, you can go out on your own, build your empire. Eminem has his own record label. He's got more money than he knows what to do with. He doesn't really talk to or care about fans that much, but he's got his thing going, you know? He doesn't need anybody to lift him up anymore. He's got his thing. Metallica doesn't need Johnny Z anymore. Van Halen didn't need Gene Simmons after, 10, 15 years, whatever it is. However long that they went on before they broke up. But getting that boost definitely fucking helps. I am not saying that he's necessarily wrong about what he's saying, but I think that we get into this mindset. You have this bootstrap logic of all I have to do, just lift myself up by the bootstraps, get my shit together, and I could be anything, I could do anything or whatever. As the saying goes, if you want to go fast, go alone, and if you want to go far, go together. It's okay to have outside help without being a brown noser. It's okay to have a celebrity chef lift you up a little bit. Stop getting in this mindset of I have to do everything by myself or otherwise I'm not good enough, right? Getting help is like one of the main facets of humanity. We are social creatures. And not only that, but getting a boost up from somebody like that, it's saying that they believe in you. They think you're special. They think that what you have to offer is amazing. And they want to help bring that out into the world. They want to show more people. And I just want the whole brigade to know that y'all are awesome, some of the best subs around. Anyways, you guys have an awesome day, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.